Well, good afternoon and welcome to Amsterdam for more coverage of the Windmill tournament here on Sky Magazine. The sun is shining. The AstroTurf in front of us is red hot. Myself and some of the team have just taken a walk across the other side of the pitch to explore some of the surrounding facilities. And I can tell you it is roasting out there. Luckily, we're sheltered in the stadium here. We don't have any direct sunlight, but the pitch, as soon as you walk out onto it, you feel the heat from above and also the heat from below. And all of these players, particularly Bad Skid, who are playing as the team in black, are really going to feel the heat during this game. This is a semi-final at the Windmill competition. The two teams in front of us are Bad Skid Ultimate from Germany and the Denmark national team. Germany, one of the few countries not to send a national team to this country. Instead, they've to this tournament. Instead, they've sent individual club teams. So yesterday we saw Heidi's playing Irish Open, and they gave them a fantastic game. Ireland eventually coming out victors in a universe point match in that one. And this particular game, Bad Skid in black. A lot of the players here will feature in London as part of the world's squad for Germany. I've been chatting to Benjamin Lazar, who's from Ultimate Dragons, one of the coaches for Denmark, and he's been giving me a few tips on my Danish pronunciation, so I'm going to give that a best shot. I also have the German team in black. I've got their roster in front of me as well. So I'll be shortly joined by Ravi Vasudevan, who's our co-commentator for this match. I think he's playing at the moment. So he's just finished his match in the mixed division. Here he is. He's on his way down. Lucky to be able to play and commentate as well. On the buttons is Mike Palmer, and operating the camera today we've got Hilko Bukma. Legends all in their own right from the contributions they've made to the ultimate media scene over the years. And the wind has got up a little bit this afternoon. Up until now, the wind has not played a part in this tournament. It's been very still. The breeze has got up. It's swirling around. And next to the stadium here, there might be some unpredictable conditions. The Danes kick us off in this semi-final match as part of the Windmill tournament from the sunshine of Amsterdam. Bad Skid starting straight off. Nico Muller moving the disc nicely down to Holger. Holger Butemuller finds Michael Butemuller. The big figure of Holger. We're going to see him a lot in this game. As 15 is Marcel Hartmann. Butemuller spreads the play across to Volmer now. Nico Muller to Holger. Holger slices that disc nicely down to Michael. Holger's available for the dump. It doesn't take him. Disc goes to the ground. Forced error from a lot of tight defense from the Danish players. And Ravi Vasudevan is next to me. Ravi, what's your view of that one?
Yeah, it seemed like good pressure by the Danes. Here we go. Put up a nice huck. Oh, unfortunate drop there. It's always hard to stop Bad Skid's efficient offense. You see, the Danes were extremely physical, really close on the mark, applying a lot of pressure. Bad Skid working through it. Just a bit of a miscue there on their turnover. I imagine they'll be a bit more composed on this next point.
Yeah, it was Kasper Boer with the drop there. Holger dishes it to Nico. Nico stretching Michael as he receives. Back to Nico again. Nico Muller to the 88 shirt of Matthias Weberus. Muller, Matthias sharing the disc to Holger. He's got options, but no cuts. Everyone's just absolutely static. Great read from the awesome defense from the Danish 23, Jan Alstil. or Jørn Alstil, 91. is Bjarne Lauritsen. And Mads Lindskroll. Tall, rangy Danish athletes. A disc to nobody in particular is a turnover for the Germans, and Bad Skid once again have it. Neither team managing to connect with their opening offense and defensive attacks. Holger through to Volk. And Nico Muller on the far side of the pitch, looking to reset. Holger's darting around, but he's getting well marked by the 44 shirt Jonas Skorfgaard. There's a high stall count on here. Was it, there's a foul on the throw, maybe it's coming back in. Oh, beautiful break force around, opens the pitch up. Holger Butemuller in the middle of the pitch to catch it. Nico Muller now dishes it to Holger. Holger back to Nico. Taking their time, just the two of them, leaving a bit of space in front. Trying to break the space. Nico Muller accelerating, but and a disc that could have gone anywhere there into the middle of the stack. Comes up nicely with Marcel Hartmann over the top. Goes to ground with two hands, gets underneath that one. And Yannick Volk, I think it was, that came up with the disc in the 5 shirt in the corner of the pitch. And Bad Skid open up their account 1-0.
Yeah, great defense by the Danes, though. Lots and lots of pressure when the Bad Skid gets into their end zone. Bad Skid did work it up to that end zone without too much trouble, but the Danes really turn it on and clamp down to stop Bad Skid from a couple scores there. Uncharacteristic of Bad Skid. Of course, a perennial favorite here at Windmill. Famously, a couple of years ago, played in the final against Chinya Rada, which was a makeup of a bunch of current and ex-Sockeye players, as well as a couple Ironside and other elite players from the U.S. And there was an amazing final, I believe went to Universe with Bad Skid against them, with a huge crowd there. So Bad Skid looking to repeat that performance and get to the final once more here in this semi-final of Windmill 2016.
Yeah, the Danes and the Bad Skid team having good runs, and they've also both won their quarterfinal to get into this game. We're expecting a tightly contested match. As we'll see straight away, the Bad Skid boys in green and black going down there and putting on a 4-person zone. Danes looking for options through it. Nice 1-2 exchange, and now jabbing a fastest through the cup down to number 10, which is the Eel, and across to Christian Loritz. Loritz has gone to one-on-one defense now. Jabs it in. It's an assist and a score for the Danes. 93 the receiver, Anders Borsen. And 88 was the assist, Andreas Eiskier.
A nice point there by the Danes. Kind of shredded through that Bad Skid defense. So, we'll see. Expect this to be a very, very physical game. Both teams very, very aggressive, very, very physical. That's what we like to see here in open level Elite Ultimate. So yeah, off to a good start. 2 holds. Danish did it a bit faster work of that than Bad Skid ended up doing. So we'll see if Bad Skid can be a bit more composed this time on their own line. Hopefully they can figure themselves out a little more and not get so flustered on the end zone with that lockdown Danish defense. So yeah, right now we also have mixed quarterfinals just finishing up. Once we get those results, we'll let you know who will be in the mixed semis. We'll be streaming a mixed semi right after this game. So that should be very interesting, so stay tuned. Please go out there and share with your friends if you're watching this. Tell them about the stream, share the link, and tweet at us with hashtag Windmill2016 if you want to let us know that you're watching. Here in Bad Skid versus Denmark, Windmill 2016 Open semifinals.
Holger Butemuller. There's 3 Butemullers on this team, so I'm just going to use their first names. This one's Holger, and then Nico Muller. 18 is Samuel. And there's Michael. It's the full collection of Buttermullers. Volk. Volk sends it back. And a noisy Polish mixed team joined us in the stands right next to us. Very pleased with their win in their quarter-final against the French mixed team. Slow start to this one. Both teams having a bit of a discussion. Holger. Oh, miscommunication downfield. Michael was going deep and then stopped his cut, came back underneath, and Holger had already released that, let it go. Dare say he might have been free, but it's hard work out there. Both these teams feeling the heat. The sun's been shining all day and the AstroTurf has been absorbing it like a great heat sink. And now all the players are getting twice the temperature from above and below. It's not cool, even with the wind getting up a little bit. There's still a lot of heat out there. Jörn Alsted sends a big disc up. There's going to be pressure underneath this from Holger. He's going to get up, surely he does. What a beast. Holger is one of the best defensive players. Very physical, massive leap. And I wouldn't want to back against him in one of those foot races.
Yeah, I've been watching him improve over the last few years. He was, of course, an amazing player. He's just getting more and more physical, more and more strong each year that he's working out, preparing for all the different tournaments. He'll definitely be a big force on Team Germany Open as they prepare for Worlds in London in 2 weeks. And we'll see how Denmark will do against that. So let's see. Bad Skid again turns it in the end zone on their last possession. Let's see if they can do a little better this time.
Nico Muller. Big disc going long. It's going to be stretched. There's masses of clearance here. Oh, what a disc from Nico Muller. Puts it into the path of Michael Buttermuller. Allows him to run straight onto it. No chance for the Danish defender, Anders Ruud, to catch up on that. All about the throw. Perfection from the Germans.
Yeah, great throw and great setup cut. He knew exactly where he could make the cut so that they could make that big looping throw, but yeah, completely unmarked on that throw. That throw was put to only where that receiver could get to it. Michael Boynton-Müller, of course. Holger is maybe the more famous of the Boynton-Müllers, but Michael is also an extremely powerful player. That family, I don't know what they're feeding their kids, but other ultimate families should maybe take note.
I wonder if someone on Twitter can tell us whether the three Buttermullers on this team are actually related, or whether it's just they are all brothers. Yeah, that's well, strong ultimate family bringing a talent to this German Bad Skid team.
Yeah, Bad Skid, of course, been coming up the last few years. 4 years ago, they became a top European team. Before that, this was a team of youth players that all started playing together when they were 12, and they just worked and worked and worked, and by the time they got to be in that 18 to 20-year-old range, came out, started wowing Europe, becoming one of the top club teams in Europe.
Looking for that deep shot here. The Danes going to be pinned on the line by the Bad Skid black shirts. Crashing the cup. 25 is Joe Ricky. And having to gone to a one-on-one defense. Anders Eiskia cross to Christian Loritz. Christian sends it. That is a well-weighted. He's going to chase. Oh, what a grab. Fantastic stuff from the 25 shirt of Joe Ritchie from Ragnarok. Playing here with the Danish national team. He leapt, he grabbed, he came down with the disc. Big, big score for Denmark.
So I don't know, you were commentating at Under 23 Worlds, right?
Yeah, I was absolutely right.
So you might remember Joe Ritchie there was playing with the Open Dutch team then. And he actually is half Dutch. He used to live in Delft in the same city where I live. I played with him. He's a phenomenal player. And he moved to Copenhagen, and you're allowed one community member, kind of a little ringer that hasn't been living in the country quite as long. And Denmark, he went to tryouts, and they picked him up for the open team for Worlds, and you can see why with that phenomenal grab.
Yeah, great work from Hilko, our cameraman, just managing to get the right amount of zoom. And we're getting some of the best action from Europe, some of the best teams in the world here in Amsterdam for the Windmill tournament. It's an incredible mix of competitive ultimate and a real party atmosphere, a festival atmosphere here in the city in the canals. If you are thinking about coming to a future Windmill tournament, then I would highly recommend it. It's been an excellent weekend, and it sets to continue with this game. Bad Skid trying to work it around, and it's Arrowhead zone. They've gone for a 3-2-2 setup here, or 3-2-1-1 setup here, the Danes. And now they're falling back into a one-on-one defense as they break through that line the first time. Bad Skid with Marcel Hartmann. And a throw over the top of Michael Butemuller to Holger. And disc is coming back. Hartmann with it once more. Conversation. Was there travel? I'm not sure. Was it something a little bit further down the pitch? Back in now. Hartmann to Holger. Nico Muller cutting down the line. A little bit of pressure on the shoulder, but it makes it back to Hartmann. Hartmann fakes and dishes nicely down to Volk. Volk to Holger. Holger looking up the line, the no options, jams it through the middle. Nico Muller tries to keep his feet in. No contest from the Danes. They've conceded another one. And that is 3-2. But this game couldn't be tighter. The Germans, Bad Skid in the black, and the Danish national team in the white. Semi-final time here on Sky Magazine from the Windmill tournament in Amsterdam. I have Tom Stiles with you, and also Ravi Vus. I keep forgetting Vasudevan.
You got it, man. So just a bit about what else is going on in the tournament. I just found out, apparently, in the quarterfinal, the 1-8 matchup, which was GB Open versus Ireland Open, huge upset. Ireland Open beats GB Open on Universe to make it to the semifinals. So right now, somewhere else in these 20 fields, Ireland is taking on France. The score is currently 3-2 for Ireland against France. So great job for the Irish. They had a couple losses in Swiss draw. They clawed their way. They were 9th in the 4th round. They clawed their way to get back into that bracket in that 8th spot, and then took semifinals away from GB Open. Amazing for them.
Wow, that's a big upset, isn't it? So flick over the top. The wind is starting to bluster, and that's why we're seeing a bit of zone from both these teams. But a nice flow up here from the Danes. 1, 2, 3 across the pitch, keeping it moving. Are they going to score? Jumps it all the way in. No contest from the Germans. They were carved apart by some fast-moving, flowing passes there, particularly from Christian Loritz in the 34 shirt, anchoring that side. And eventually the score came from Casper Boer in the cap on backwards and the big beard, the 38 shirts. So we are seeing quite a lot of wind here coming. It's coming largely from across the pitch towards the camera and a little bit from the right to the left as you look at it. And we're going to see a fair bit of zone out here today. But Bad Skid might have to rethink their strategy a little bit, because Denmark made them look very average, carving that open and then passing all the way down the pitch. Short passes kept it moving into the end zone.
Yeah, I've played on these fields quite a few times, being a Dutch a player in the Netherlands myself, and when it gets windy, it oftentimes, the field gets really weird because the stands sometimes block some of the wind, so the middle of the field is a bit more still, although this is a bit more of a right to left wind, but the middle of the field can sometimes be more still. Then the end zones get this weird swirly wind coming off the sides of the bleachers, so watch out for that. Some high discs might go unexpectedly in the end zones if the wind picks up.
So say a quick hi to Hannes Fritz, who's watching on Twitter. He sent us a picture of his telly, which is what we want to see, really. So take a photograph of your computer or your big screen TV and the action you're able to watch on YouTube. And tag us, hashtag Windmill 2016. Bit of pressure here from the Danes, pushing Bad Skid back. Holger with the disc again. Breaks around the mark. Manages to find Volk via Nico Muller. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Nico Muller. Here he is again. Taking a few steps forward. And the Danish side pushing him towards the side. But not able to compress him enough to stop the passes coming out. But now they're starting to build some pressure here. Managed to get a quick disc out to Marcel Hartmann. He floats one across the top to Holger, who's got hours to catch that. Get the disc off early. And Nico Muller looking to block in. It's gone to a one-on-one defense. And straight away, Bad Skid having to adapt and change things up. And will we see a big disc from Holger? No, some sharp switching further down pitch to neutralize the threat from Nico Muller. But now the big disc goes up. Hartmann underneath it. There's going to be pressure from the Danes. Big reach. Oh, Hartmann takes his time and manages to keep his feet in. What incredible work. He was under a huge amount of pressure from the huge Nicholas Cummins, who'd managed to make up a lot of ground, got up early, but did not get the touch.
Yeah, fantastic control of both the disc and his feet. I really thought the Danes positioned quite well. They seem to be on both sides of him. And we'll see here again on the replay. The throw goes up. He does have a lot of separation, but that disc just hangs forever. And then the Danes do a good job to sandwich him as the defender goes up, but doesn't get enough on it to really get that D. Great work to keep your focus and concentration with those two huge Danish bodies on either side of you.
Yeah, sorry, it was Marcel Hartmann who was the number 15 shirt involved in that play. And just patience, really. He saw the Danish player go up. He was never going to compete with him in the air, was he? But he just had the patience to think he's gone up early. I'll wait down here and take it on the way down.
Yeah, seems like he made the right call. In the other semi, I'll try and keep the score updated as much as I can. Right now it's 4-2 for Ireland up on France, France beat Ireland in the Swiss draw, but Ireland seemed to have gotten something under their, some kind of energy in these bracket play games. And now we're up on France, who are also an extremely strong team. So we'll see. The winner of this game is going to play the winner of that game in what's going to be surely an epic final tomorrow here in Amsterdam.
So just to clarify, Ireland have beaten Great Britain in the 1-8 bracket match, quarter-final. So the highest Great Britain Open can finish in this tournament is 5th now. They'll be pretty upset about that. As I was chatting to a few of the team last night, they seemed confident about their ability, about the way the team was coming together. This sort of thing might be the sort of event that shakes up the confidence a little bit. A little dink over the top. German pressure causing a turnover. Not able to connect with that one, and Bad Skid have the disc again. Side on, nice disc, stretching the field, pushing it out to the wing. Very compressed, a lot of players in the middle of the pitch. No option to go across. Flicks into the space and takes it down for a point. And the Germans quite reluctant with the big noisy celebrations. The Danes much more vocal. But at the moment, the team in black have the advantage, 5-3.
Yeah, that's the first break of the game, I believe. Good on Bad Skid to make that play. Just really shut down dump defense, causes miscommunication between the dump. Guy was dancing a little bit and just went the wrong way. Yeah, on that GB quarterfinal, I heard that Justin Ford, one of the renowned top players in GB, was benched for the first half of the game. Maybe they're trying to keep resting, and they were a bit overconfident that they didn't need him, and Ireland went up 8-4. And in the second half, GB did come back, but on Universe, Ireland was able to take it away.
Thanks to everyone who's getting in touch on Twitter. Appreciate you contact. Nico Bechel watching with his hot dog legs poolside in Spain. And the Dundee Uni Ultimate boys sending us a picture of the Twitter. And they're having a party up there, watching some Sky Magazine coverage from the Windmill 2016 tournament, and also celebrating the fact that Shizzle has just become a father. So congratulations to all involved there. Nice to know that you're including the Sky coverage from Windmill in your party, in your celebrations. Bit of live Ultimate. Always makes things go a bit spicy. You have a game of Pass the Hat, and I'm sure there's various drinking games you can invent around the things that me and Ravi have to say.
Yeah. So also in the women's division is also playing their semifinal currently, and we saw the quarterfinal. So GB won that against Austria. They're now playing against Germany, and the other semifinal, Belgium takes out France, who were playing extremely strong earlier in this tournament. So France also is top they can do is 5th place. They must be frustrated about that. And Switzerland took out GB Masters. So Belgium, Switzerland on one side, and Germany, GB on the other.
Yeah, those women's semifinals are going to be pretty exciting. Great read from Yun. Sends it down to Rico. Back to Yun Alstill. Into space. It's going to catch the wind. It's going to rise in the air. Too long for the Danes, but what a take in the air. He got up early. He took it down ahead of the fast approaching Mark Pritz from Bad Skid. But that was a great take from the 93 shirt of Anders Borsson from Denmark. Big, tall, rangy players these Danes have brought to Amsterdam this weekend. And they're still in this. One trailing behind Bad Skid, 4-5.
Yeah, and I think there might have been a little bit of what I was talking about with the swirly wind in the end zone. When that throw went up, it didn't look like it was going to quite float that high. I think it hit some wind when it got a little past where the bleachers were blocking the wind. So got to be careful with that, but I guess you don't have to be that careful when you have huge receivers like that can make those amazing grabs.
So if you do want to get in touch with us at Skyd Magazine, I'm at Tom Styles. If you want to tweet me directly, any feedback you've got on the coverage that we're bringing to you is always greatly appreciated. And if in doubt, take a photograph of your PC or the way you're watching the live streaming Ultimate that we're able to bring you. The other favor we'd like to ask you to do is to just click on the share link at the top of YouTube. Take a copy of the link and then post it to your social media stream. Let people know there's live Ultimate available to watch right now, and people can join in the conversation and see the sport maybe that they've never seen before, maybe the sport that they love already, but in a light that they've never seen before. Windmill tournament throwing up all sorts of exciting action for us this weekend. We've got finals for you all day tomorrow, but right now, semi-final, Bad Skid in the black. Denmark national time in the open division. This is semi-final stuff. And we're seeing Matthias stuck in a corner here, trying to find his way out. He finds Nico Muller eventually. Muller getting pinned to the line. He's going to have to engineer something here. Trying to look for the squeeze here. The Danes just closing down all the space. Eventually finds a disc out to Marcel Hartmann across to number 5, which is Volk. Hartmann's available. Muller's available. Back to Hartmann. So that's Volk. And Holger. Back to Hartmann. Hartmann gets a little tip on the fingers of the outstretched Bjarne Larsson. That's a turnover. The Danes trying to level this up at 5 apiece. They've got the German team never got out of their own end zone there. Great pressure. Oh, what a disc that is. Breaks the force, and again it's Bjarne Larsson. Huge disc, breaks right across the end zone. Incredible skill from the big Dane, and they've leveled it up at 5 apiece.
So yeah, get that break back. Now we're packed right in it. You might hear a little bit of noise here. Right next to us we have the Danish mixed team, who seem to be supporting Denmark, unsurprisingly. And they were getting very, very loud on that defensive point. Great job on the Danes to get that pull way down in the back of the field and then chase it down, able to put on a really, really strong defense to give Bad Skid nothing. I was impressed by Bad Skid. They looked completely unfazed by it. I mean, they didn't look stressed out or anything, but then eventually they tried to get that around throw, and that big mark got the hand block, made it for an easy score by a beautiful inside break. What a play by the Danes.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of noise on Twitter about that GB Ireland result. Ireland beating Great Britain in the Open Division, knocking them out at the quarter-final stage. And I'd like to say hello to Team Surrey Ultimate who are watching this. Loving the game after a few hours of training. Thanks for Skyd Magazine for the coverage. It's our pleasure. Tom Styles and Ravi Vasudevan up here in the commentary booth. Pressing the buttons is Mike Palmer. He'll be part of the World's team. And on the camera, Hilko Boekma. It's Nico Muller for Bad Skid. An awful lot of noise in the stadium. Muller again. Jabs that disc through the cup and finds the Christoph Kobler. Holger to Muller. Muller looks deep, he sends it. Holger's cutting. There's going to be some pressure on this from the Danes, but Holger's got great position on there. Got a little bit of a nudge in the back. Is he going to claim something? No, he's quite happy to let that one go. He had position. Oh no, uncontested foul. Also, he had position. He claimed the foul. No contest from the number 3 shirt of Mads Gottlieb. And Holger's a bit of a monster in that end zone. Got position, got up early. Mads clearly caught him. And Bad Skid on the edge of the end zone looking for the score. Quick jink from his brother, Michael Butemuller. And those Butemuller brothers scoring for Bad Skid. Very quiet when they score. The whole stadium dies down. 6-5, the Germans lead.
Yeah, Bad Skid are traditionally a pretty loud and celebratory team. They might even be celebrating over there. I think it's just that we're hearing it as quiet because the Denmark mixed are calming down, and that's way louder since it's right next to us than anything Bad Skid could be doing. But it does look like they're quieting down. They're realizing this is a tight game. They got to bring energy. If they get a break, though, I'll imagine some really loud cheering from Bad Skid.
It's a very impressive game so far. Both teams bringing a lot of athleticism. Both teams bring a lot of physicality as well.
So, talking about else what's going on in that tournament. In the mixed division, the quarterfinals just wrapped up before this round. So in one of the semis, we have GB versus Poland. In the other semi, we have Sock Puppet Regime, a team made up of Sockeye players, some of their friends, and some Team Russia women, very strong team, playing against the Czech Republic. I believe we'll be streaming the Sock Puppet Regime versus Czech Republic game after this match. It seems that all those games were pretty lopsided, winning by all games. The second place team didn't get even 10 points. So the top 4 really separating themselves from the bottom 4. And so we're sure to see some very exciting games come semifinals.
The disc is walked in from the back of the end zone by Anders Eiskier. A lot of help from Benjamin, one of the coaches from Denmark, with my pronunciation of these Danish names. I hope I'm doing them justice. Big disc now, but pressure from the Germans, not able to get it into the end zone quite just yet. Flip over the top, a miscommunication, big layout. Oh my goodness me, what a grab that is from Anders Boersen. He has gone fully horizontal, fingertip touch, wraps it around the disc. Oh, that disc looked dead a long time ago, but he never gave up. Anders Boersen bringing it down, the number 93 shirt for Denmark. We see the replay, Ravi.
Yeah, I gave up on that throw, but wow, just grabbing onto right before it hits the ground. Amazing grab. That's, I believe, the 3rd amazing grab the Danes have had in that end zone. Well, 2 on that end zone, 1 on the other end zone. You wonder, though, if they're going to be able to keep doing that, but it seems like the receivers have no problem making grabs like that. Ricci making one earlier, then a big sky grab over here. Great plays by the receivers on the Denmark. I'd like to see their handlers play a little better so the receivers don't have to do that. But when you got receivers like that, maybe they've practiced that and they just have trust that their guys are going to take it down.
Yeah, it was definitely a hero-making pass there. I don't think it was intended for the receiver. Boersen was alive to it, though. Managed to switch his direction and get his fingertips wrapped around the disc. We're watching some fantastic ultimate here. 6 apiece in this open semi-final. Bad Skid and the Danish national team. Bad Skid from Germany. Germany, one of the few countries not to send their world squad out here as a nation. Instead, they've sent a couple of their club teams, Bad Skid being the best of those. Heidi's we watched yesterday play against Ireland in a very close universe point match. And Ireland have obviously taken the momentum they gained from that to beat GB in their quarter-final this morning. Holger Butemuller sends the disc. Oh, that is beautifully from Holger. Never any doubt about it. Straight into the hands of the 18 shirt of Samuel Butemuller, his brother. And they make it look so easy. Holger, deep threat, great defense, and also some disc skills to match. What a player.
Yeah, Holger's extremely impressive. There he has his brother Sam, his brother Mike. We think they're all brothers. If you hit us up on Twitter if you know that they're brothers. I think one of them might be a cousin. It's fantastic ultimate here. One break apiece. So it is contested, but amazing offense. Really high pressure on the defense, but even more impressive offense so far. So we'll see. It's 7-6 for a Bad Skid. If Denmark can hold here, that'd be really nice, because giving Bad Skid halftime at 8-6 would not be a great position to be in. So, sorry? Galaxy. Mike Palmer's telling me it's Galaxy Point when you're playing for halftime. Thanks, Mike Palmer. Maybe that's some Australian phrase we'll have to bring into Europe.
That's a Mike Palmer phrase, and he's trying to get it to spread. I'm not convinced myself, but yeah, okay, we get it. We get it if you can. Galaxy Point. Hashtag Galaxy Point if you're feeling that. Hashtag Windmill 2016 if you want to get in touch with us on Twitter. Myself, Tom Stiles, and Ravi Vasudevan in the commentary box, and bringing you this fantastic game of Ultimate. Also, do us a favor, just share the link on your social media, on your Twitter, whatever it is. Put the link out there. Let as many people as you want watch it. This fantastic game as the Danes go up. Big disc in the air is going to be, yeah, the Danes take it. They level it up at 7 apiece, preventing the Germans from taking the Galaxy Point. And yeah, so just do us a favor. Sky are doing all this coverage for you. It's completely free. We don't ask you for any money, but here we're just asking you for, just do something for us. Hit the share button at the top of YouTube, and then choose your social media platform of choice, or just copy the link and shove it in an email to a good friend or your team list. Spread the word. And this might be the first time that some of your friends and colleagues and your relatives have seen the sport live. They might be the thing that gets them interested in the game, or at least lets them know that what you're doing at the weekends isn't completely crazy. There are other people out there doing it, and it is taken seriously by the community. Denmark in the white, Bad Skid in the black. Ravi, what have you made of the game so far?
Oh, just fantastic. Ultimate, that huck, I mean, it was exactly where his defenders couldn't get to it. So apparently we have about 470 people watching right now. Let's get that number up to 500, maybe try and get it to 1,000 by the end of this game. It's going to be an amazing game. Share it with your friends. Share it with your Ultimate friends. Share it with your non-Ultimate friends. Show them what this sport's all about, because this is a fantastic showcase of, yeah, all of our favorite sport. Danes here, pull up. It's time for Galaxy Point. Hashtag Galaxy Point for Mike Palmer.
Yeah, we have had confirmation on Twitter that the Butemullers are all brothers. Big disc from the Bad Skid boys. Butemuller chasing it down. He takes it. Never any doubt. Throws it off, and that's Galaxy Point. And the disc was from Christoph Korb.
Yeah, Christoph Korble last year played for Boston Ironside. Don't worry, Tom. Boston, they couldn't pronounce his name either, so they just nicknamed him the Cable Guy. That's what they decided to do, all the Boston players. So on Ironside, he was known as the Cable Guy. He clearly learned a lot. It's funny, Holger there doing a little bit of high stepping. I think he's mocking the Danish guy who did that after his big huck. But Holger kind of laughing it off, saying, yeah, we can do that too. So 8-7 here as both open teams are trying to find some shade for a couple minutes of rest. Still on serve, so Denmark will start on offense, I believe. So it's still anyone's game. Let's see if we can get a couple more breaks in the second half. Maybe Hilko, you can put the camera on the women's semi going behind while we're waiting for halftime. Maybe you can zoom in on the score there. I'm not sure what it is. But before we do that, let's make a shout out to Secure Cyber Communications, helping us out with all the technical stuff going on in this tournament. Right now it's 3-5. It seems to be 3 for Belgium and 5 for the Swiss. We'll just show you a couple points. I'm not going to really commentate everything. Belgium's ahead. We're not sure exactly what the score is. Hilko, Belgium's ahead? Or? If it's 3-5, then it should be the teams, it's even. So Yeah, then Belgium has 3. So Belgium has 3 to Switzerland's 5. Some great play there. We don't have all the rosters and names, so we just allow you guys to watch this while we wait for the open boys to finish up with their halftime. Nice D there by Florence Windler. I've played with her in a few fun tournaments. She's a fantastic player.
While we are watching that game, the Swiss putting in another point, or was she just outside the end zone? A lot of noise in the stadium now, coming back to the second half. Across the other side of the pitch, we can just see the Swiss trying to work it in. Germany and Great Britain in the other semi-final. That's not here. I can't quite see where that game is being played. It's not visible from here. Oh, is it this game that we can see over here? I think down the end of the end zone. Hilko, can you get a shot of the Great Britain versus Germany women's match? I don't know if you can. I don't know if they think there's a scoreboard you can see over there. That's going on at the same time as this one, and that'll be a tight affair, no doubt. The Germans have looked pretty indestructible this tournament, and the British team have looked anything but. They went down in round 2 to the French team, and then Germany destroyed France 15-5. Those games were of differing importance, so don't read everything into the scoreline, but it just gives you some sort of reflection of the way the German ladies are playing. They've got a lot of their players from under-23s, a lot of talented experience in there as well, a real mixture. But let's get back to this Open semi-final. We're bringing you to you on Sky Magazine's Tom Stiles and Ravi Vasudevan. Your commentators for this one. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do. On Twitter is the easiest way. I'm at Tom Stiles, or you can do at Sky Magazine and hit us with the hashtag Windmill 2016. Send us a photograph of wherever you are watching. And Shaky's been doing that and taking a great screen grab as well. Back in. Anders. The 57 shirt of Peter Gonger cuts out and leaves Christian Loritz with the disc. Very hot afternoon out here in Amsterdam. The breeze has got up a little bit. It's lovely in the stands for us commentators and the Sky production crew. Hilko Boekma on the camera and Mike Palmer pressing the buttons and making all the magic happen for you with the graphics and the instant replays.
Quick update right now. The score in the other Open semi is up on League Vine. It is 6-5 for Ireland, so they're still holding on to that lead that they started in the beginning of the game.
Irish team playing some great ultimate right now, as are the Danes, as are Bad Skid. There's no slackers at this end of the business when it comes to the Windmill. Not able to grab onto that one, though. The Danes have turned over on their own line. Bad Skid approach calmly, setting themselves up in the end zone. 5 in the end zone. Coming to pick up is the 42 shirt of Christoph Kobler, the cable guy, and just dishes it nicely underneath the hand of to Samuel Buttermuller. Great handling skills from the Germans. And Buttermuller was alive, fast feet, gets himself free. And 9-7 is the score. They re-establish that 2-point margin against the Danes.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Denmark when you turn it on your own end zone. But you got to throw your O-line back out there and be confident that they can make the plays they made in that first half. So we'll see how they do here in this second half of Windmill, semifinal of Windmill 2016. Just a great game. There seem to be lots and lots of great games here at this tournament. Always there's 20 games going on at once, so there's probably plenty of games we don't even know about that are fantastic, even at the lower levels. The way the Swiss draw works, the rest of the teams that are not in the top 8 are just continuing to play Swiss draw, so they keep getting to opponents that are theoretically closer and closer to their level. So all the games now are going to be hotly contested at all levels here at the tournament.
It's Great to have so many of you watching all over the world. We've got a lot of people on the stream right now. Has got us the ladies' figures for us, Mike? 510 of you. We'd like to get that as high as we can so that people can appreciate the live Ultimate that we're watching. So do us a favor, just take the link from the top of YouTube, share it on your social media platform of choice. The more people that share it, the more YouTube and Facebook and Twitter think it's a big deal, and the higher up the rankings it gets. So it's a network effect, and we'd like to use the network of all the Ultimate players out there who are watching this now to spread the word. Straight away, the cuts of the big number 34. Christian Loretz is hit, but a call on the play sends the disc back. 91, Bjarne Larsen manages to find successfully the second time of asking. And a poor disc choice. He's fallen over. It was Jørn Alstil there, the 23 shirt, one of the captains. But a mistake has given the disc back to the Germans. Bad skid Ultimate. Former youth players who've risen up the rankings back in the last European Championships, not the one just gone, the one before that. Holger Butemuller started up a fake TV podcast called Blockstapel TV, which was a German sort of rip-off of Blockstack TV, and we're very happy to have them rip off our TV show. Anyway, Alstil marking, hands low. The Germans making it look easy as they pass up to an open player up the line. Horizontal stack working nicely. Cutting down the line, but not able to get free. Alstil cutting across. That's going to float. Alstil's going to be underneath it, but so is the Eel, who picks it off from the top of the stack. Oh, pressure from this. Great block from the 42 shirt of Christoph Kobler. Managed to make up the ground, but a real frantic effort there. Maybe a bit more time on the disc there would have allowed the Danes to score, but they wanted to get it in. They wanted to jam it in quick. Kobler was alive to the threat and knocked it out of the sky.
Yeah, he was also very active before that. I mean, Denmark had to make a huge grab there. Kobler would have been there to get the D previous throw, then didn't get that one, recovered immediately, busted to the end zone, and wow, just amazing athleticism there from the cable guy.
No mistake at all about it. These teams desperately want to win this game. They want to be in the final of this tournament, and there's nothing being left to chance. And a touch from the block. Is it going to come down in the hands of the Danes? It is. It was all about that hand block. And a huge bid from the 57 shirt. That's Jonathan Schall, the Eel. As Denmark have got it. Lawrenson. Alstil. Cross to the far side. Bjørsen. Alstil again. Borsil into the far side of the corner. There it is. The 93 shirt of Anders Bjørsen. Huge player in this game so far. They score for Denmark. And that could be a big swing there. The Germans were looking like they were going to score it. That would have taken it to 10-7. But not to be. We see that replay just putting it in the far side. The Danes have steadied the ship, bringing it back to 1.
Hotly contested game. Can't say that enough. Great play on Bad Skid's defense, though. Layout bids. I mean, the Danes have to be feeling that pressure, but just seems like they find that easy spot and just hit it. That's exactly what you got to do in Ultimate. You can't get jostled by these guys laying out all over you, and that's exactly what the Danes are not doing. Great offense by the Danes there. So now we'll see if they can put some pressure on Bad Skid and get that break back like they did in the first half.
Yeah, big shout out to the people who are watching all over the world. Moshe has sent us a picture of the Skied stream on YouTube. They're watching on their laptop. And Steve Beardsley's starting off a very lazy Sunday watching quality Ultimate at the Windmill windup. And he's stoked for Worlds and perhaps America taking home the gold. He's also done hashtag Galaxy Point, so Mike is punching the air with that one. He's very excited. Team Surrey Ultimate, they also have said hashtag Galaxy Point. So it might still be a thing, you never know. Galaxy Point is the point to take half if it's level 7 apiece. The 8th point would be Galaxy Point. Bad skid, great disc through the middle to Holger. The Danes having to concede 20 yards immediately, straight from the put. Oh, pressure from Al Still, just runs through. Holger's having a complaint about that, though. Looked pretty clean from here.
Yeah, I got to say, it looked clean to me. It looks like he just came through and hit the disc. We're going to maybe have time for a replay here while they discuss it. They get the throw. I don't think he touched Holger's hands. It's a bit iffy. Mike is saying it's pretty close. But, yeah, with the physicality in this game, I'm a bit surprised to hear that. But it will be uncontested, so Holger will keep the disc, and Bad Skid will continue from there.
The Danes applying more pressure with this four-person cup, chasing across the pitch, trying to stop that swing, but need to do a better job of blocking the return pass if they're going to make this pressure count. At some point, the Danes will switch to a one-on-one defense, but not yet. They're still keeping it a distance away. Across the pitch. A number 15 shirt of Hartmann finds Holger. Holger's got Hartmann available for the dump, has to slice through to find Mateus. Mateus across the pitch, and now we're using Nico Muller on this side. Muller, we've got very many options, has to laser the disc back. Bad Skid conceding territory here, but still swinging it around. The Danes can't keep running like this forever. Holger over the top, gets the reset. Nico Muller on this near side. On the far side is Hartmann. Hartmann exchanging discs with Holger. So number 5, Volk. Back to Hartmann again on the far side. More backward movement from the Bad Skid. Great pressure this is. Oh, just a little bit of a grab there from Mateus. And he has to go backwards again. The Danes are running a little bit low on energy here. They've chased this for a good minute and a half now at full sprint. And the 38 shirt of Casper Boer, who's with the beard, coming to take that, but still manages to move it forward now. Bad Skid to Nico Muller from Buttermuller in the big 19 shirt, but the disc from Nico Muller upside down scuba forward. Bad choice, way ahead of Buttermuller. Turnover to Denmark.
So Denmark's zone there was interesting. It was 1-3, so you had one person marking all the time, 3 people behind, as Denmark calls a timeout. It is a 1-3-3, and it was a forced sideline. They didn't care what sideline they were on. They wanted to trap you on either sideline. And when you had it in the middle of the field, they were happy to give up a swing. The only thing that can beat that is over the top. They were giving some space behind the line of 3 that maybe it's a bit swirly wind out there, hoping Bad Skid will put something up. Bad Skid managed to get that scuba over to Holger to break through, and then eventually they clamped back on with their zone and forced another up over the top throw, but this time it didn't work. So great pressure by the Danes. It's maybe hard for them to match up one-on-one with these huge Bad Skid players. So throwing some kind of look like that really took Bad Skid a lot of backwards movement, a lot of passes, and that's what you want to do. Take a team out of their A game, and that's exactly what that defense did. It earned them the turn. Let's see if they can convert here and bring it back to even.
Great analysis from Ravi there. We're very lucky to have the co-commentator Ravi with me, and also David Price, who's going to be doing the last game today on the Sky stream. One of the things which marks the Windmill tournament out above all others really is the number of volunteers and the community atmosphere there is amongst the organisers. This is a tournament which is run very, very professionally, but not for profit. All the money seems to get ploughed back into the next year's tournament, making it bigger and better and more exciting. And no doubt that the players appreciating that. It's high-quality field, it's high-quality ultimate, but there really is a party atmosphere at the same time. Some of the best ultimate players in Europe, some of the best ultimate players in the world. We had the tournament director from Layout playing with the Brown Chicken Brown Cow team earlier this morning.
Speaking of best players in the world, up next, so Bad Skid played in that classic final from a couple years ago I talked about against Chinyarada. Up next, we're going to have Sock Game versus Czech mixed team. Sock Game made up of a lot of sockeye players in the mixed semifinal with a lot of their female friends as well as some Team Russia women. So that should be an amazing game with some amazing athletic plays. Tune in for that one after this.
Al Still again swings across to Loretz Jimritzlio. Al Still again. 45 is Mads Lindskrog. Down the line, Lots of time and space. It makes it look so easy for the Danes. They score. No complaint from Germany. The Bad Skid boys turn their heads and quietly walk back, losing a bit of momentum in this game. The team in white getting all their own way at the moment.
Take a look at that replay. I'm trying to maybe we can see how that Danish player got so free. I think his defender must have tried to poach in on somebody else. Well, here the other defender, the cutter isn't even on the screen, so I'm not sure what happened to that defender to leave that wide open shot. You can't do that against these Danish throwers. So now that Denmark does break back, indeed, that was a break. If you remember before the timeout, it was because of a turn that Denmark gave to Bad Skid. So now it's even at 9-9. Anybody's game right here.
Yeah, Mike, our production masterman, production magician, production genius. There aren't really that many superlatives to describe Mike's skill on the buttons. Somebody had the audacity yesterday to say it's just a big computer. It's all the computer does all the work. So that's hardly fair. It's like saying Michael Schumacher has the car do all the work, isn't it? You still need somebody to drive the thing. So Mike is our computer Michael Schumacher, if you like. Or we've got Mike Palmer rather than Mike Schumacher. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. We've got lots of people watching all over the world, and we really appreciate you sharing the link. It's absolutely fantastic game here between Denmark and Bad Skid. 9 apiece. Game to 15 in this semi-final of the Windmill tournament from Amsterdam, live on Sky Magazine.
So I'm wondering if Denmark are going to throw that 1-3-3 again, or perhaps some other type of junky look. Can't really tell yet how they're setting up. It looks like they're just going hard man. That's also a very good thing to do in Ultimate. Even though the 1-3-3 did work, you don't want to throw the same thing over and over again. Let them figure it out. You can save that 1-3-3 for later when you want to get another break. See how they do hard man.
It does look like a 1-3-3. They're forcing it around. Nico Muller looking for options. They're closing them down as fast as they're arriving. That's a floaty disc, and pressure's going to arrive. But Kubler brings it back down again. Across to Hartmann. Hartmann looking to reset it to the centre. Kubler coming in and crashing that cup nicely. And he flicks across to Nico Muller, stretching the field now across to the other side of the pitch. The Danes crowding around, trying to take away the options as fast as they arrive. Kubler again. This time it's Volk. Volk to Kubler. Dropping off a little bit. Kubler sends it next to the stand. It's going to rake across the side of the pitch, and it's beautifully caught by Holger Butemuller for a great point for Bad Skid. That disc inches away from the roof of the stand here, but he managed to keep it in. Beautiful disc from Kubler, and that's how you break apart a zone. Just put it up.
So I wonder if there are any Boston Ironside players watching. I'd love to see a hashtag cable guy, hashtag Windmill 2016 coming up. So Ironside, if you're watching, let us know on Twitter, hashtag Windmill 2016, supporting your ex-teammate from last year.
And we'll also be with you for the 3 finals tomorrow. Mixed women's and open. Not entirely. I think it's women, then mixed, then open. Is that correct? That's the order we're doing them tomorrow. The stands will be full. Be a great atmosphere down here. Most of the teams have just got one game first thing in the morning. Every team have got one game first thing in the morning, apart from the finalists. And then we've got an afternoon of celebration. There'll be some beverages, I'm sure. And hopefully a bright sunshiny day, just like we've got here, to enjoy the top quality Ultimate. The breeze has got up in this afternoon, and there's some big clouds swirling around up ahead, but none of them are emptying themselves down onto the fields here in Amsterdam. Kubler with a huge pull that rakes right across the sky, and it's drifted out in the wind, and that's going to be bricked by the Danes. A lot of the people involved in the production of this year's Amsterdam media coverage for Sky are also going to be in London, bringing you coverage of the world. So that's myself, Mike Palmer, Hilco on the camera is going to be there doing some documentary work for some of the teams covering the stories. Has to lay out hard. Denmark keeping that disc alive. The 47 shirt of Mads Lindskrog has to dump it back. Lindskrog again. Across the pitch. That's a nice cut, but Kubler's really tight on him, doesn't let that disc go out. Now there's a bit of space over here for Boersen. Looking for any sort of reset at the moment. A little dish pass, that's nice. The Danes being confident in their cutters, not crowding the disc too much. Looking for that's a lovely break side shot, inside out, sidearm, down the pitch. Manages to get yards. Lindscrow dishes over the top. Oh, what a choice! What a choice! The Eel takes it off the top of the stack. The diminutive figure of the number 5 shirt of Volk, not able to rise, not able to get enough hand on that, even though he had a great position.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that option. It seemed like he was completely covered, just a little high release pop. Is it a lefty high release? Let's see here. Yeah, it's the lefty throw. I don't understand what the thrower was thinking, except again, they just know they have these huge receivers. If you're interested in learning a bit more about some of these Danish players, I'm sure Elliot would love if I give him a little plug. If you go onto YouTube, search for Ultimate Globetrotter. Elliot Trotter played Worlds with Ragnarok, which is the top Danish club team that went to World Championships. And there's a nice episode where he trains with a lot of these Danish players. Though a lot of those players are actually a little older now and have decided to play Masters. So the Danish Masters team also incredibly strong. They won the European Championships last year, and they are also looking to be very strong at Worlds. So Denmark, with both a very strong Open team and a very strong Masters team, looking to make some noise in London in a couple of weeks.
So the player in the German line to miss that D there was Jan Schall, who the disc went over his head. Missed. I said it was Volk, and it wasn't. Apologies to Volk. Oh, breaking through that cup. A little bit of a risky disc, but they've got to take their chances here. Bad skid. 10 apiece. Holger floats it down the line to the 11 shirt. 15, Hartmann across to Nico Muller on the far side. Muller, nice, back to Holger. Hartmann is stretched. Holger just making his teammate run. Come on, you can do some work here. We're not just doing across the pitch, we're going to make some yards as well. Forces the play. Buttermuller and Nico Muller. Going to have to go around him. Pokes it through the middle. Holger Buttermuller really bossing the middle of this field. All 5 other members of the Bad Skid team are in the end zone. A few of them come out now to make a bit more space, but the... Oh, great. Nico Muller going horizontal, getting it live, keeping it up. And he's going to have to go back to... Oh, look, a lefty dish. Fantastic work from those 2 players. Almost a 1-2-1-2 point between the 2 of them. Holger Buttermuller and Nico Muller working it up the pitch. Great work from Nico Muller, keeping horizontal and keeping that disc alive.
There seems to be some discussion between the Danish and the Bad Skid player, but I think they are going to call that one a score. I'm not sure exactly what they're discussing here. Bad Skid doing their signature slow clap. That must mean that some team has called a timeout. Phenomenal play here. 11-10 for Bad Skid. Still even on breaks. Both teams have 2 breaks each. So great game. You always love to see teams that are evenly matched just getting a couple breaks. Incredible offensive efficiency on both teams. Some amazing athletic plays. Everything you want to see out of a great open semifinal. So we will see how this game wraps up. If Bad Skid can hold on, they actually don't need to get a break. They just need to hold on and win off getting offense on the flip. We can also see here there are some sock game and some Czech mixed teams players getting ready for their semifinal. Hilko, you said there was a score on the Belgium. It's 7-9 for Switzerland in the women's semifinal happening across the field. We'll take a look at that game a little bit while we wait for this timeout to finish up. Great point by Switzerland.
We can also see the German women versus GB women over on the pitch that's just beyond the end zone where the Bad Skid are currently congregating. And that is the other women's semi-final. So we've got one women's semi-final on the other side of the pitch. Big news from the Open division, if you hadn't heard it already, is that shock upset in the 1v8 bracket game, which was Ireland versus Great Britain. Ireland beating Great Britain to knock them out of the competition. highest Great Britain can finish is 5th in the Open division. It's for a team who had aspirations of winning this tournament and doing very well at Worlds as well. There'll be some bruised egos in that side. But maybe it's a bit of a rattle of the cage.
But nice, though. The last 2 years has been Clapham and GB Open taking the Windmill title, so we will have a non-Clapham-ish or GB Open team winning this year. Nice to get a little change of pace, also to give some humility to those GB boys and make sure that's also good for them. They have to know what their weaknesses are. They have to know what they need to do at Worlds. I think this kind of loss actually helps them.
It'll spur them on to even harder training, I'm sure. Alstill. Severka again. Alstill looks to break through this bad skid cup. Crashing it nicely, looking across the top. The disc is perfection right across into so much space, breaks open. The Germans trying to scramble here to get something back and cover that possession on the far side of the pitch. Jamming it in. Alstill making all the plays, scoring the point and breaking the cup wide open. The 23 shirt, Jörn Alstill. Fantastic work from him.
Yeah, that's the risk with that kind of zone play. I mean, it's good, again, good bad skid to try and throw something else out there, see what Denmark can do with it. The problem is, though, that really opens up those huge overhead throws. And the thing with a team like Denmark, they also play a lot of very competitive indoor ultimates. So they have their overheads and their blades very, very fine-tuned. And then the other thing about Denmark is that it's a very windy country over there. So they're used to doing a lot of throws in the wind. So they're going to have some strong handlers that can just break that cup wide open like they did. It's a very, very tough move. But, yeah, we're at 11 apiece. Just a few more points here to go in this Open semifinal. Tom, what do you think so far? Who do you think might take this one?
I'm not even going to come close to calling this one. It's way too close. I think Denmark. I've been impressed with the way they've played. They've had some really gritty grabs, but I've also players like Nico Müller and Holger Buttermüller for Germany for the bad skid team are very much impressed. But Denmark, I had a chat with their coach Benjamin before. They're a team who really, really want to do well at Worlds. A team that have come together with a range of experience and youth. Holger Buttermüller, the 19 shirt that really dominates this bad skid team on every point almost. In fact, I'm sure he is on every point. Buttermüller to Nico Müller. Holger. And passing it forward to Samuel. Nico Müller finds Hartmann on the far side. Hartmann to Müller. Holger in the middle of the pitch. Just calling a bit of a play, not letting the disc go back in. Trying to step it around, trying to find a way across. And a little bit of a rising disc over the top of Müller, but he deals with it well. Hartmann's got it now. Back to Nico Müller. The Danes closing in, trying to take away the options. Pressure's building a little bit here, and the mistakes are starting to creep in. The discs aren't quite as level. It pops it over the top, and that's broken things wide open now. Germans looking to advance it quickly. Nice 1-2 between Samuel and Hartmann on that far side. Now it comes back across to Nico. The pace has dropped a little bit. Back across to Holger. Holger jacking it through to the middle to Samuel. The two Buttermüller brothers are connecting. Nico Müller tries to jump it in at the far side on Holger Buttermüller. Makes it a completed score. Hartmann on the far side providing the final pass, but it was Holger Buttermüller really bossing that line, taking himself out of the handling line and just putting himself just behind that cup. A very effective way of breaking down the zone, and the Germans have the lead again, 12-11.
Yeah, in Elite Ultimate, you can't always get the offense. I mean, you're playing against amazing offenses. You're not going to get them to turn the disc that often. However, I think Denmark can call that point a win. I mean, they had them on their defending brick mark, throwing 10, 12 passes, and some of them really started to float up in the air. That's exactly what you want to do. They stopped them from this, big huck game to their big receivers and made them try and do something else. Sure, Bad Skid did break through this time with a nice scooper over the top, but that's got to feel good on defense. If you can hold the team to do that, that's great. That'll make them think twice about what they have to do next time, get in their heads. Denmark applying amazing pressure, but yeah, once it popped through, they do have to find a way to recover, because once they did pop over that scooper, it was just tic-tac, Bad Skid all the way, especially with that big Holger. Couldn't really do much there. So Bad Skid takes it 12-11. It's still anyone's game. The games are to 15 here. For those watching in the U.S., there is no win by 2 rule in WIFDIF, so the game is just a 15. If it goes 14-15, the game will be over. So Bad Skid just needs to hold until the end here, and we'll see what they do, putting pressure on Denmark.
The Danes, a team in white, has got a long option if they need it, but they're not going to take it. And that's a floaty disc. It's quite risky in this wind. The breeze has picked up. It's blustering around the stands. And that is swirling conditions next to the big structures at the side of this pitch is going to make it difficult. But Al Still has already proven he can throw a disc cross pitch, and this time he jacks it down the line way too low. No chance at all for Christopher Severka to even get close to that disc.
Yeah, I think that downwind on that huck really pushed it down. You have to be careful when you throw upwind. Discs tend to pop up. Throwing a downwind huck, they'll come down. You have to throw them a bit higher than that to keep them floating more than you'd like.
So Al Still throwing away. Bad Skid with a disc. Kobler to Holger to up the line. A little bit of a complaint from the Eel that he's getting a bit of pressure on the back. So it's Samuel Butemuller, it's Holger's brother, complaining about the treatment he's getting, and Holger cuts at the line. Big pressure there from Danes. Puts it through the middle. A little dishy pass, keeping the disc alive. Kobler again. Keeping this one moving down the line. Holger making a cut down the line. It floats low. Oh, there's a disc in there, and an ankle went down. Holger's shoulder went near it. That looks extremely painful. The disc was low, not a great disc, but Holger bid hard for it. I'm sure an injury has happened there. It's the Eel who's down, and Holger's not happy either. He's pretty sore.
I got to say, I think that's a bit of a dangerous play there from the Denmark poached defender. I don't think... I mean, Holger was going for that disc the whole time. We're going to see... He tried to deal with his foot, got in there, but Holger was already bidding for the disc there. It's just a little unlucky. Looks like Holger is coming out. Hopefully he'll be able to figure himself out as we watch that replay. Yeah, he tried to deal with his foot as Holger was bidding for it. I don't really like that play. A little bit dangerous there. Ends up kicking Holger. Now gets him out. I hope Bad Skid can still able to put up their strong game without their big man, or that Holger will be back and ready to play the next point. But Bad Skid here on the end zone line, ready to try and pop it in to get an extended lead here to 13-11.
Would you have liked that play more if he'd gone in face first with his hand and they've gone head to head? Well,
really.
No, I wouldn't have liked it either. So I think it was a poor disc into the end zone, but Bad Skid still have it. And they're going to swing it around, and Kobler makes himself available. Bad Skid now start to celebrate with a bit more enthusiasm. They've extended a 2-point lead here in this open semi-final, getting closer to that place in the final here at the Windmill. 13-11, they win. They're within 2 points of taking this victory.
Yeah, that's tough for Denmark. Lose the disc on a huck, and then Bad Skid worked it up nicely. A bit of a contested disc there, caused a bit of a foul and a injury, but Bad Skid still able to get the break. Now 13-11, that's a hole that's pretty tough. So Denmark need to hold here, absolutely need to hold here to make it 13-12, and then have to have some kind of a miracle. It's been tough for them to find breaks against Bad Skid, and they need to get 2 more in this game if they want to win it and go to the finals.
A few people still watching Leeds Uni Ultimate. Thank you very much for shouting us out. They watched Alice Beaching earlier and now enjoying watching Sky Magazine's coverage from Windmill 2016. Thomas Griesbaum watching as ever. Big fan of the Ultimate game. Big contributor to the Ultimate community. Hello, Thomas. And Stephen Beardsley. between games or whenever, can you give us a handicap of Worlds for us, please? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Stephen, but we'll talk a little bit about Worlds in the future. And David Pitchler, great analysis from David. He's done colour commentary with me in the past. He says this is a great game between two contrasting styles. Germans are cool and controlled. Danes are confident and aggressive. But disc goes to ground and rolls out. They're going to bring that to the front of the end zone, where it went out of bounds. Denmark, front of their end zone. It's a one-on-one defense from the Germans. Trying to cut up the line is Al still. And a big shot has gone up. It's going to be pressure underneath this from the Germans. But oh, what a takedown from the number 3 shirt of Mads Gottlieb. Huge, rangy athlete. Got up early and no chance. And a mistake dropping the disc. Squeezed a little bit too hard. The Danes looking confident. Gottlieb keeping that disc active and alive. Switch up of the defense, going away from the zone defense we've seen so far in this tournament, in this game. Korbel getting the disc down to Samuel Buttermuller, sends it into the end zone. It's going to be drifting long. Oh, he had a great bit of that. Went horizontal, tried to go with the left hand. The 39 shirt. Oh, sorry, it's not the 39 shirt. And quite, maybe it's a. Oh, it is a 39 shirt. He's just not on my. It's just not on my. Not on my roster for the Germans. Oh, we think that might be Maximilian Liebersberger. Went with the left hand. We'll give it to him anyway.
Yeah, just a little update. So I'm having a little trouble with League Vine now. Oh, it does seem that France has taken the lead 11-8 on Ireland Open in the other Open semi. So France also doing well, might make the final.
Big disc up in the air is going to be brought down by somebody. It's been brought down by the Germans. Got up there really early, read it very well. And that's the problem when you put a disc up that hangs in the air for that long, unless it's perfection. There's going to be some aggressive defense underneath it. And the Danish number 18, Christopher Soverka, a little bit uncomfortable as he walked back from that. Maybe a twinge on the ankle. But it was great pressure. It was the bad skid number 69 there. Also not on my roster. Bad skid rotating further into their line than they have done thus far in this late stage of the game. Korbler brings it to the line. Bad skid looking at an option across the pitch to Samuel Buttermuller. Down the line. Bad skid moving it still. Korbler again involved in a lot of the action this stage of the game. 47, Jan Schaal. Just takes his foot off the gas for a minute, looks for the reset, looks for anything underneath. That's a great disc, but it's really stretching the bad skid player. Catches it, keeps it alive. Dishes over the top. It's a great catch from the 69 shirt for bad skid. They extend their lead by another. The Danes' heads drop. They realize they're on the end of a sudden point, and Bad Skid are within one of entering the final at this Windmill tournament.
You see some Bad Skid players exhausted. I think their top players have been playing quite a lot of points, like Samuel Bortenmuller is down on the ground. I believe that's Kerbla also down on the ground. It's really hot. It's really tiring. They're having to do a lot of work out there. Hopefully that could maybe be a good sign for the Danes that their top players are a little tired, but seeing how this game's gone so far, I don't really see the Danes being able to make 4 in a row here on Bad Skid's very, very efficient, cool and collected offense. But let's see if their aggressive and confident offense can at least get them to 14-12, and see if they get one break after that 14-12, that really can change the momentum, have a big swing. So game is definitely not over yet, but I'd say definitely favoring Bad Skid here. 14-11 for Bad Skid in the semifinal of Windmill 2016.
And the temperature difference between up here in the stands where there's a breeze and we're in sheltered from the sunshine, and down there on the pitch where the heat hits you from above and from below. The pitch is very hot, this rubber crumb surface sucking up the heat during the day and then dishing it back to the players from beneath their feet. And it's an uncomfortable place to be, especially when you're doing this much energetic work. The Danes struggling to get out of this fast-moving German Cup. The men in the black shirts gathering all around us. A deep shot available on this far side. Holger Butemüller is lurking deep. Will it get hit? No, the Germans have gone to the one-on-one defense now. And the cut has gone deep, but there's no chance of hitting it. This time they're skirting around, trying to find an available pass. This time they have. The 38 shirt of Kasper Boer. And a deep shot has gone up. Butemüller's chasing it down. Is he going to get a bid on this? He does get a bid on it. Looked a little bit through the shoulder. Any complaint from the Danes? No complaints from the Danes. He's, yeah. Butemüller making up the ground, getting that touch and getting the turnover for Badskid.
Good to see Holger back out there. He had an injury a couple points ago, but he's back out there and he's just as physical as ever on that amazing defensive point.
I'm imagining he's like a tank with a couple of dints. A couple of light dints. But yeah, he's rolling on. Butemüller sends a disc high. Caught gracefully. 88 shirt of Mateus. Mateus back to Butemüller. No, not back to Butemüller. The stall's getting high. He manages to find a great get out to Johannes Schal down the line. The 87 shirt of Jonas Watzel. The Badskid team going deep into the line now. Some players we've not seen all game are now on the pitch. Holger Butemüller puffing and panting as he sends that big disc up. This could be for the game, but the wind's caught it, dragged it out of the sky early. Butemüller's deep shots earlier in this game were absolutely nailed on, but that one was nowhere near.
Yeah, I actually felt, as Butemüller released it, there wasn't much for a breeze. It was right after he released it that I felt the breeze. So I think the wind just kicked in, and he put touch on it for a non-windy throw, and the wind just kicked in at the wrong time.
Big shot going deep for the Danes to get one back in this one. It certainly has done that. The 93 shirt of Anders Boersen having an absolutely electric game here. We saw him go horizontal in one of the biggest takes of the game so far, and they're the provider of a fantastically weighted disc into the path of the Danish receiver at the far side of the pitch, which is 44, Jonas Skovgaard. Danes not out of this one yet. They're having to cling on by their fingernails. They're within 1 point of a loss. Badskid only needing to score their O. But Danes holding their nerve there, putting it in. They trail by 2, 14-12.
Yeah, great game here so far. Hopefully it's not the last point for the Danes. I want to see a few more points of this amazing ultimate. But they're going to have to stop the cool and efficient offense of Badskid, which they've been having trouble doing. I would definitely expect to see their patented 1-3 trap sideline zone that has been the only thing I think that's generated breaks for them so far this game, the 2 breaks that they have generated. But Badskid getting more and more used to that, it's going to make it pretty difficult. So we'll see. Denmark here to pull. Everything's on the line. If they lose, they got to go to that 3rd place game. If they win, they play in the final with what looks like might be France Open, who are up 12-8 currently against Ireland.
The time cap's gone on. And Butemüller making an error. Hits his chest. He'd always thought about the next pass or the next cut. Maybe the amount of energy is expended in this Amsterdam heat has taken its toll. The concentration starting to go as the Danes look to capitalize on getting the disc again from Alstil. Alstil looking to put it inside, looking to find anything. Badskid taking away the options. The touch from that, and no catch this time. Boersen, even he is not able to get down low enough. So it's not Boersen, it's the Nicholas Commons with the yellow cap. Not even he is able to get down low enough to keep that disc alive. Badskid have it back. A let off for the Germans. That would have been an exciting turn of events if the Danes had scored that one. Butemüller now slicing it across to his brother Samuel. Marcel Hartmann pushing it further downfield. Back to Samuel. Korbler spreading the play. This is a real dreamline here for the Germans, trying to make sure they can put it away. Holger Butemüller slices it down. There you go. And we have our first finalist for the Amsterdam Windmill Tournament, Badskid from Germany. The team in black and green have shown the Danes how to play in this tricky, windy, breezy conditions. Their pressure and intensity and huge plays from the big number 19 shirt, Holger Butemuller, and solid handling from number 33, Nico Muller. Fantastic play from the Germans. They go through into the final, and Danes have shown a good show of themselves here, but they eventually are defeated.
Yeah, they were a little down. Please stay tuned. Look on Skyd Magazine. We'll have a link up for the next game. It's going to be the Czech mixed team versus Sock game. Czech doing amazingly well. They were seeded second after the Swiss draw, going against Sock game, which is a team of American players with a couple Dutch ringers. So we'll see how they're going to do. Stay tuned for that game.
Yeah, the team's taking the walk off, and we'll be back with you shortly. Stay tuned to Skyd Magazine. We'll catch you later. Tom and Ravi signing off.